Okay, we're back on the mid-century chair. The canting on the side I got at the GLENBURN cleanup. I've got all the stuffing out, all the springs, all the crumbling foam. Cleaned it up as much as I need to. You can leave a few remains in here. It's not going to hurt anything. Don't have to worry about getting all the staples out. It's going to get covered. The new dust cover is going to cover all the way out to the edge here, so all this will get covered. There's a few little bits and pieces in the edge here. There's still some stuffing in there. I vacuumed it out thoroughly, all the old dusty foam. Now underneath here in the front is the original bolster, which is a piece of burlap wrapped around some material and stitched together to create like a piping, a large piece of piping almost. So I'm going to leave that in place. That leaves form for the front. So the next thing is to try to restuff this with batting and foam, and then build a platform for the bottom. I'm in the middle of figuring out how to make a template. The new bottom is going to follow this shape here, come around, follow the inside of this, and go up in there with a couple of glue blocks in the corner here, so I can screw into the blocking here and hold the platform in place. And it may need a little bit of trial and error to get the right amount of stuffing in there, because I believe it did have a puffy shape to it, a round puffy shape, judging by how lax the fabric is. Okay, I've got all the foam and padding figured out. Doing some test fitting and put the bottom on. It needed more foam, so I added another layer of foam. Used some scraps and glued them together to make one piece. I didn't have any more full pieces, so I used up some scraps and glued them together. Since it's on the bottom, it won't matter. So you got one layer of foam. And then the top layer of foam, which has batting wrapped around it. Then I've stuffed batting in the corners to fill out the corners, and any place that needs it on the edges. And I added these angle brackets right here to help locate the bottom when I push it in. I can locate it against these angle irons, and then screw the bottom into place. My last test fit was extremely tight, so I had a very hard time pushing the bottom all the way up. So it's a little difficult to get the bottom in, but once I get it in and screwed, it all holds in place. And we're already ready to put the bottom in for good. So now we've got 4 inches of foam total. I needed that extra layer, didn't have enough in the middle. The fabric was a little bit lax in my first test fit. So that all compresses. The middle of the seat is nice and firm. Okay, I think we're ready to put the bottom in. Yeah, perfect. Nice and firm, and the corners are full. It's nice and full in the middle. Fabric is nicely stretched out. Okay, ready to button up the bottom. A few more screws in and then put some dust cover on. Okay, I got the dust cover all on. Since I painted that plywood black, it just disappears in there. Now flip it over and we'll clean the upholstery. I recently bought a small upholstery cleaning machine, and I made my own solution. There's commercial solutions available, but it's much cheaper to make your own. And it's just a couple tablespoons of laundry detergent and a couple tablespoons of OxyClean to a gallon. And then you just put a few capfuls of that into the machine and add water to it. I previously cleaned the frame. Now I'm just going to go over it with some Minwax scratch cover. There's some wear on the arms and a few nicks and dings around the whole chair. It'll help cover that up, and I'll give the frame a nice polish.